Shabbat Shalom. Such wonderful energy in the room tonight. Shabbat Shalom to all of you and to everyone watching from a distance. I can only imagine this is because of the beautiful weather we have outside, and even though our collective beings, all of us, want to be with every ounce of us outside for this beautiful night, we are fortunate to be together, and it is good and it is pleasant, and therefore we sing Hine Matov.
I walked in a few minutes late, as I'm sure you saw, and I just thought to myself, what beautiful music, what beautiful prayer coming from this room, and it's all because of you. You sing so lovely, so I hope you'll be singing throughout the whole rest of the service. And what a beautiful day. Could you imagine a better day than today with the sun shining, and it was warm, and I think that, well, I jinx it if I say that spring and summer has come? It's great. And so what a wonderful way to celebrate Shabbat. And so it's our great pleasure to invite Paula Finkel to come forward for the honor of lighting the candles. We turn to page 13.
Light is the foundation of life, yet impossible to touch. Light is flowers growing and fruit trees blossoming, photosynthesis and rainbows shimmering. Light is energy and romance, enlightenment and lightning, Light is red and violet and magenta and blue, lasers and campfires, warmth and illumination, the sunset and the dawn. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, b'tzivanu l'chadlik ner shal Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We continue with L'chadodi on page 34.
L'chadodi,
L'chadodi,
לקראת כלה,
לקראת כלה,
בני שבת,
בני שבת,
נקבלה,
נקבלה,
l'chadodi,
l'chadodi,
לקראת כלה,
לקראת כלה,
בני שבת,
בני שבת,
נקבלה,
נקבלה,
שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, והשמיענו אליך מיוחד, אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד, ושמו תפארת ונתינה, לחדודי,
לחדודי,
לקראת כלה,
לקראת כלה,
בני שבת,
בני שבת,
נקבלה,
נקבלה,
לחדודי,
לחדודי,
לקראת כלה,
לקראת כלה,
בני שבת,
בני שבת,
נקבלה,
נקבלה, לקראת שבת, לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף המעשה במחשבה תחילה.
לחדודי,
לחדודי,
לקראת כלה,
לקראת כלה,
בני שבת,
בני שבת,
נקבלה,
לקבלה,
לחדודי,
לחדודי,
לקראת כלה,
לקראת כלה,
בני שבת,
בני שבת,
נקבלה.
לקבלה.
We rise together. Oy v'shalom ateret kala, gam b'simcha u'v'tzola, och emonei am segula, oy chala, oy chala, oy chala. לחדודי,
לחדודי,
לקראת כלה,
לקראת כלה,
בני שבת,
בני שבת,
נקבלה,
לקבלה,
לחדודי,
לחדודי,
לקראת כלה,
לקראת כלה,
בני שבת,
בני שבת,
נקבלה, לחדודי,
לחדודי,
לקראת כלה,
לקראת כלה,
בני שבת,
בני שבת,
נקבלה,
לקבלה,
לחדודי,
לחדודי,
לקראת כלה,
לקראת כלה,
בני שבת,
בני שבת,
נקבלה,
לקבלה,
לחדודי,
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 לחדודי, לחדודי.
We turn our prayer books to page 39. Let us read together. All week we serve our family, our community, our interests, our daily needs. The hectic flow never stops. On Shabbat, we are called to serve our spiritual selves so as to reconnect with the unified flow that never stops.
We rise for the call to worship on page 44. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai.
Please be seated. We continue with a prayer appropriate for the day on page 46. At the top of the page, we join together. Master of the universe, grant me the ability to be alone. May it be my custom to go outdoors each day, among the trees and grasses, among all growing things, there to be alone and enter into prayer. There may I express all that is in my heart, talking with you to whom I and may all grasses, trees, and plants awake at my coming. Send the power of their life into my prayer, making whole my heart and my speech through the life and spirit of growing things, made whole by their transcendence. Page 49. We are loved by an unending love. We are guided by the still small voice within us. We are loved by an unending love, an heir to me to be tended from generation to generation, a gentle love, giving meaning to our existence, structure to our lives, and of all the generations who have embraced their covenant.
If you're lost, you feel afraid, and you don't know what to say, then listen to our God. Is there a question on your mind? Is the answer hard to find? Then listen to our God. Listen with all your heart and soul, and with all your might. Write them and learn them and teach them well, every morning and night. Close your eyes and listen.
Quiet yourself, there's nothing to say. Stop all the chatter that gets in the way and listen to our God. When the wind and the thunder finally disappear, there's still a voice that you will hear if you listen to our God. You can hear it from the top of the highest hill or from the valley below. It can come from the edge of the universe. It can come from within your soul. Close your eyes Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Listen to our God.
Listen to our God. As you're seated, we continue on page 57. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha v'lechtecha v'derech v'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot ben einecha uchetavetam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai item kedoshim Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem amen.
As we hear those words speaking about our love for God and God's love for the people of Israel, we also think about love and relationships and connections between people. And so today we're going to invite a couple who in just a few weeks will be celebrating under the chuppah, Carly Novus and Alex Simmons, to come forward. We welcome them to our bima as we also give them a gift of a mezuzah and a year's membership here at Temple Israel, celebrating their life together.
Bruchim habayim b'shem Adonai, berachnuchem mibeit Adonai.
Now, as we're about to begin this moment of blessing, I want you to know I've been looking at the entire congregation. And if someone had videoed this first 20 minutes of the service, they would have found you. They would have known precisely what couple sitting in our sanctuary, not because of light, no, the way you were holding with each other, the way you were leaning your head against the shoulder of the man who will soon be your husband, the way the two of you were looking at each other. Now, I just happen to have the great angle to watch this. And I will promise you I've never begun an ufruf in this way. So at this moment, I just pray that God will enable you always to see each other as you are seeing each other this evening. That you'll always feel the love that God has given to us to share with someone we truly are blessed with. And may that love continue. And may that sense of joy that has brought you to this day be shared with family and friends when you do at that moment stand under the chuppah and thank God for the blessing of each other, the blessing of God's peace. May you always be with them, O God, guiding them, supporting them, encouraging them in all of life's experience. And may you grant them the blessing of love for each other and love for the family who will be with them, supporting them at that very sacred moment. And let us all say, Amen. Mazel tov.
Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, Yehelanu. Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, Yehelanu. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, ulechol Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, ulechol Yisrael. Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, Yehelanu.
So today is what we call move-up day in the school district. It's the day when the 8th graders get a chance to be at the high school for a day, the younger grades move to the middle school, and each grade gets to meet their teachers for next year. So I was driving to an appointment this morning, and I first in my neighborhood literally saw a mother duck and 6 or 7 ducks behind it walking across, and then I got to the corner of Middle Belt and Lone Pine, and there was a teacher with her ducks behind her waiting for the light to change to walk to the middle school. And at that moment, I actually thought about this time in our prayer service because those kids were anxious to get to the other side of the road. They were anxious to see what was going to be in front of them in that school. And I imagined with some trepidation that must have been what our ancestors were feeling. What's it going to be like? How are we going to feel as free people in the wilderness? And so we pray that all of those students will enjoy what they find on the other side, just as our ancestors celebrated when they found the other side in that moment of freedom. We continue our prayer for freedom on page 62.
מלכותך ראובן לך, בוקע ים לפני משה. זה אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 יא לה יא לה לה, יא לה 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 יא לה 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 לה. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la 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 la. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
Together in the middle of 64. Cause us, our Creator, to lie down in peace, and raise us up, O sovereign God, to renewed life and peace. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel, and be our shield of mercy and of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu,
Ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem.
Vishamru, V'nei Yisrael, Vishamru et HaShabbat, La'asot et HaShabbat, La'asot et HaShabbat, Lidorotam Berit Olam. Beini uve bnei Yisrael, oti leolam, ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz uvayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz uvayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash.
So we rise together on page 68 for the avots. Adonai, Sefatai Tiftachu fi Yagi Tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu ve'Ivoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hadorah, Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zochet Hasei Avot ve'Himavot, U'me'yevi Geula livnei bneihem, Le'man Shemo be'ahava, Melech Chozer, Moshiach Magin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham, ve'ezrat Sarah.
Together at the bottom of 69. Prayer invites us to let God's presence suffuse our spirits, to let God's will prevail in our lives. Prayer cannot bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh Hakol. Blessed are you, O God, who renews all things.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. As you're seated, we pray silently. shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Eho, 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 eho,
Please join me in a prayer for healing on page 83. Together, close within us the holes left by sickness, bind them up by the threads of faith. Heal the space made by illness, seal over it with your blanket of hope. Renew in us the strength of body, raise us up with your words of love. Ease in us the ache of mind, comfort us with your sheltering arms. Kindle within us the flickering spirit, guide us with your eternal flame. We sing the Misha Berach together.
Of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach Mikor haberacha la'avoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
It could have been worse. We could have been Nazarites. Let me explain. In our Torah portion, Naso, we learned that in biblical times, there were people who took the Nazarite vow in order to serve God more closely. They made special offerings, never cut their hair, and eschewed the drinking of wine. Sort of biblical hippie teetotalers.
Now, in the 19th century, our early Reform forebears were looking to ground their nascent movement in tradition by connecting it to a historical sect. It could not be the Sadducees, because they were Torah literalists and the Reform were all about change. The Pharisees and their oral law or Talmud had already been taken over by the traditionalists. The Essenes were celibate, so you could cross that one off the list. The Zealots mostly died in battle, so that wouldn't work. And the Nazarites, well, long hair had not yet come back into style in either Germany or America at the time. So instead, the early reformers turned to the prophets and labeled our brand of Judaism prophetic Judaism. And this worked quite well for them. After all, they were looking to de-ritualize Judaism to some extent and to focus more on its ethical underpinnings. At first glance, the prophets were a perfect fit, especially the prophet Amos. Amos spoke out against oppression and power. He championed the poor and the downtrodden, and he devalued blind adherence to ritual as compared to acting justly. You all know his famous line from Dr. Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech, but you may be less aware of the context of that magnificent verse. It begins with the Lord railing against the people Israel through the prophet Amos saying, I hate, I despise your religious festivals. Your assemblies are a stench to me. Even though you bring me burnt offerings and grain offerings, I will not accept them. Though you bring choice fellowship offerings, I will have no regard for them. Away with the noise of your songs. Sorry, Cantor. I will not listen to the music of your harps, but let justice roll on like a river, righteousness like a never-failing stream. Much better than the Nazarites. Here was a group of biblical forebears our movement could really rally behind. We are prophetic Jews, those who seek justice for the widow and the orphan, the poor and the downtrodden, who speak truth to power and emphasize justice over ritual. This was our own Rabbi Leon Fromm, railing against Nazism after a pre-war trip to Germany, or standing against those who wished to desecrate the Diego Rivera murals at the DIA. This was my father, marching with Martin Luther King before it became the thing to do and receiving a good deal of political pushback as a result. This is Temple Israel housing the homeless, founding Forgotten Harvest, Project Healthy Communities, and our own biweekly food pantry. This is prophetic Judaism. Yes, but. You see, there is another equally as prominent focus of the prophets that we rarely talk about. For if you read them closely, although you will certainly find social action-oriented passages like the one I just cited, you will find even more dealing with a very pragmatic and indeed existential concern: the preservation of the people Israel, of our nation, of our religion, of our state. Elijah the prophet, for instance, who visits us at our Seder tables, our brisses, and every Havdalah, was really concerned with fighting the forces of assimilation. He railed and fought against the evil Queen Jezebel and her attempt to introduce the worship of Baal, a false god, into the temple cult. Ezekiel was obsessed with Israel's survival, or should I say revival, as he created a metaphor of rebirth. You all know the song, dim, dry bones, dim, bones, dim, dry bones. Yes, according to Ezekiel's vision, those dry bones of Israel's remnant will be reborn because God did not abandon them in Babylonia. No, God will fly with them into exile on a chariot of fire. And in this way, Zion will once again be restored, which it was. Ezekiel turned out to be a pretty good prophet. So why am I pointing out this tension within our prophetic tradition, this dissonance? It is because this is the very same tension facing us today, as Reformed Jews and particularly as Reformed rabbis. The pull between fulfilling our prophetic obligation to right the wrongs of society and our prophetic obligation to grow and strengthen our Jewish community. How are these two simultaneous obligations in tension with one another? Let me explain by citing the case of my good friend, Rabbi Rick Jacobs, the president of the Union for Reform Judaism. As you know, Rabbi Jacobs has become well known, infamous according to some of my more right-wing friends, for making liberal pronouncements from the bully pulpit of his presidency. His recent statement, for instance, on moving the American embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Now, by one prophetic standard, this is indeed his role as our movement's rabbi, as its prophet, if you will. On the other hand, Rabbi Jacobs is also the foremost proponent of what is called Big Tent Judaism, being open and welcoming to all Jews. And I have to assume that that includes Republicans, right? He terms it audacious hospitality. But is it hospitable to make those who disagree with you uncomfortable in their own spiritual home? It is a conundrum, not just for Rabbi Jacobs, but for every Reform rabbi preaching today in this country. It is a conundrum which your rabbis at Temple Israel will be discussing at an all-day conclave scheduled for later this summer. I cannot tell you which conclusions we will come to. I can only tell you that it is a constant topic of conversation, and I greatly look forward to this opportunity to flesh it out more fully, if you will. I can give you a hint, however, to my own predilections. I cannot see ever becoming a rabbi who forgoes the prophetic injunction to speak out against injustice. Should we really not raise our voices against discrimination, injustice, misogyny, hatred? If we did that, both Rabbi Fromm and my dad, along with Rabbi Syme and myriad other Reform rabbis who came before us, would not only turn over in their graves, I do believe they would come back and haunt us forever. On the other hand, I do not understand why it is Jews who seem to be taking the lead in attacking Israel, and indeed Judaism, something which occurred recently at our own Hebrew Union College during a commencement ceremony at which the author Michael Chabin spoke. You can Google it if you like to see what you think. Israel has so many enemies in this world already. Do Jews really have to be first in line among them? Is there no other nation we might criticize? Saudi Arabia, Iran, North Korea, Myanmar, Venezuela? These are corrupt, oppressive dictatorships. Israel is a democratic, open society. Criticize particular policies if you must, and I certainly have. But why are we not bringing this prophetic moral zeal to bear against the horrific and oppressive regimes I've just mentioned? I guess for my inspiration in these matters, I turn not to the prophets, but rather to the great sage Hillel, who in Pirkei Avot asked this question: Im ein ani li mi li, uksha'ani la'atzmi ma'ani, v'im lo akshav ematai. If I am not for myself, who will be for me? But if I am for myself alone, what am I? And if not now, when? So you see, my friends, the prophets have left us with a somewhat difficult, thorny, and conflicted legacy to fulfill. But of course, it could have been worse. We could have been Nazarites. Shabbat Shalom.
Heard there was a secret chord David played and it pleased the Lord. You don't really care for music, do you? Goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, Minor fall, the major lift, baffled king composing hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. So you went outside, stood on your roof. The beauty of the starry night overthrew ya. The world hums without a sound. You were lost, but now you're found. It's a still small voice that whispers, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, betofu machol, hallelujah, beminim ve'ugav, hallelujah, betzilzelei shama, hallelujah, betzilzelei trua, kol hanishama te hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. There was a time when it all was new, when you were just the chosen few. The land, it flowed with milk and honey to you. Now what's left but a single wall, where people come to hear the call. Through space and time it echoes, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
So there's a rabbi Facebook group. There's a Facebook group for everything. And I was reading something today, a thread going back and forth, debating the very topic that Rabbi Yedwab spoke about so beautifully tonight. And one of my colleagues, one of my classmates responded, you know, if you're not struggling and if you're not miserable and if you're not, you know, violently fighting in your head all the time as a rabbi right now in this day and age, you're doing something wrong. And with that in mind, with that beautiful sermon and amazing anthem in mind, I'd like to invite up a member of our executive committee for this evening's announcements, Ellie Bitker.
Thank you, Rabbi Yedwab, for that very thought-provoking sermon, and Mazel Tov to the upcoming wedding. Now we have a lot going on at Temple, a lot of really fun and exciting things. On Sunday, June 3rd, we'll welcome back violinist and native Detroiter Gabriel Bolkowski. Gabe is a much sought-after visiting artist and performer throughout North America. For this performance, Gabe is joined by pianist Marta Asnavorian. The concert begins at a special time, so please remember it's 4 o'clock. The following Sunday, June 10th, Brotherhood sponsoring Pizza with a Purpose from 11 in the morning to 9 p.m., where you can dine in or carry out at California Pizza Kitchen. 20% of the sale will be given to the Brotherhood for Housing the Homeless Project. Please be sure to get a coupon either from Art when you leave or in the messenger. Israel's turning 70 and you're invited to celebrate. Come to Detroit Riverfront on Wednesday, June 20th, where will be a community-wide celebration of historic proportions to commemorate Israel. There will be an afternoon and evening of Israel-themed spirit, fun, and festivity. Tickets are available online at Israel70/Detroit.org or pick up a flyer as you leave. It's sure to be a really fun celebration. And save the date, Friday, June 22nd. Let's not miss it for our wonderful Rabbi Jen Kaluzny and her husband Ryan for their 13th anniversary at Temple Israel. The picnic begins at 6 p.m., followed by a service at 7:30. If case of inclement weather, we'll just move it on inside. Watch the messenger for details. For any further information or to RSVP or volunteer for any of these programs, please call our office during regular business hours, or you can pick up flyers outside. On behalf of the Board of Trustees and the Executive Board, I'd like to wish all of you a very wonderful Shabbat Shalom.
We turn now to the conclusion of our service, and as we rise together, turning to page 189 for Elenu, we invite anyone in the congregation, age 11 and younger, come up, help us open the ark, and receive a special Shabbat treat.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת הילולה ליוצר בראשית. לא עשנו כגויי ארצות ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר היה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. Our thoughts turn now to those we've loved and lost. We remember those who've been taken from our temple community in the last 30 days, the period of Shloshim. Marilyn Chasen, Elaine Dvorkin, Bob Feldman, Marilyn Folks, Dora Friedman, Beryl Goldfield, Lois Hamburger, Michael Harvey, Eileen Holtzman, Rani Howard, Kathleen Canners, Sarah Kay, Shirley Lizelle, Mitch Liebskind, Lawrence Mayerson, Dr. Andrea Page, Rabbi Aaron Pankin, Marilyn Pollock, Lawrence Portnoy, Robert Redlick, Helen Sherman, Jay Stark, Ida Stein, Samuel Weiner, Karen Weingarten, Helen A. Wotasik, Rose Wallach, Hope Neff Grant. We also remember our loved ones who died at this time in years past: Florence Altus, Gertrude Ansbach, Jenny H. Arkin, Rose Barron, Benjamin Benison, Lawrence Bensman, Paula Blair, Harvey Cantor, Patricia Davis, Dorothy Davis, Norton Flusty, Dr. Milton Goodman, Millie Covan, Dennis Joseph Covan, Jaden Larkey, Elizabeth Leiter, Marilyn Levitt, Harry S. Miller, Esther Minko, Elizabeth Offner, Sheldon Rogers, Leon Seltz, Burton Stern, Rosalind Tucker, Sander Weiss, Dr. Gerald Traeger, Adele Sapperstone, Faye Rosengard, Bernie Toby, Bertha Bletstein, Leslie Bob Weiss, Howard Finsilver, Elizabeth Smukler, Oscar Wax, George Carson, Anna Resnick, Jack Schwartz, Mildred Schwartz, Norman Zausmer, Molly Ingber, Arthur Hendrick, Annette London, Miriam P. Weber, Helen Fuller, Eugene Walters, Bernice Dryman, Carol Barnett Siegel, Joseph Fantich, Samuel Meltzer, and Roman Gorelik. We remember them with love, and we honor them with words of Mourner's Kaddish on page 199, so we rise together. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivarach leolam ulamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudsha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shalama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, huya aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. And may the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, comfort to all who are bereaved among us, as together we say,
Eho, 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 Odiavo shalom aleinu, Odiavo shalom aleinu, Odiavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Odiavo shalom aleinu, Odiavo shalom aleinu, Odiavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam. Salam, shalom, salam, aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam, salam, shalom, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, ve'al kulam. Eho, 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 eho. Shabbat Shalom.